The eviction notice arrived on a Tuesday. Maria, a single mother of two, stared at the official paper, her heart pounding in her chest. The rent, already a stretch, had gone up again. Her hours at the diner had been cut. The smiles she wore for customers felt like a mask hiding a growing fear. Fear that the money wouldn't last. Fear that she wouldn't be able to provide for her children. This wasn't just about numbers on a page, it was about the roof over their heads, the food on their table, the future slipping through her fingers like grains of sand. Maria's story isn't unique. It's a story echoed in households across the country, a symphony of quiet desperation playing out against the backdrop of an uncertain economy. The whispers start subtly. A friend loses their job. The price of milk goes up. Your favorite store is suddenly boarded up. These whispers can quickly escalate into a roar, a collective sense of dread that things are about to get much, much worse. This isn't just about numbers and graphs, it's about real people, real families staring down the barrel of an economic storm. This is the human face of a recession. It's the fear in the eyes of a father who just got laid off, wondering how he'll put food on the table. It's the despair of a college graduate drowning in student loan debt, their dreams put on hold. It's the uncertainty that hangs heavy in the air, a constant reminder that the ground beneath our feet can shift without warning. So, what exactly is a recession? In simple terms, it's when the economy shrinks for 6 months or more. Think of it as the economy catching a cold. Just like a cold brings fever, coughs, and a general feeling of being unwell, a recession comes with its own set of symptoms. The most common symptom, a shrinking GDP. GDP stands for Gross Domestic Product, which is a fancy way of saying the total value of everything produced in a country. When the GDP goes down, it means businesses are producing less, people are buying less, and the overall economy is sluggish. But it's not just about numbers on a chart. A shrinking GDP has real-world consequences. It means businesses are less likely to hire, more likely to lay off workers, and might even have to shut down. And when businesses struggle, people struggle. It's a vicious cycle, a downward spiral that can be difficult to pull out of. Imagine a row of dominoes, each one representing a different part of the economy. Now imagine someone pushing over the first domino. That's what happens when a recession hits. It often starts with a drop in consumer spending. People become worried about the future, so they tighten their belts and cut back on unnecessary expenses. Maybe they stop eating out as much, postpone that vacation, or hold off on buying a new car. This drop in spending has a ripple effect. Restaurants see fewer customers, hotels have empty rooms, and car dealerships struggle to move inventory. As a result, these businesses are forced to make tough decisions. They might cut back on hours, lay off employees, or even close their doors for good. And as more people lose their jobs, they have even less money to spend, which further weakens the economy. It's a vicious cycle, a downward spiral that can be difficult to pull out of. Recessions don't just appear out of thin air, they're usually the result of a perfect storm of economic factors colliding. Think of it like baking a cake of chaos. You need the right, or maybe the wrong, ingredients in the right proportions. One key ingredient is excessive debt. When individuals and businesses borrow too much money, they become vulnerable to even small changes in interest rates or economic conditions. It's like building a house on a foundation of sand. One good storm, and it all comes crashing down. Another culprit is inflation, which is a fancy way of saying prices are rising faster than wages. Remember when a gallon of gas used to cost a few bucks? Yeah, inflation steals the value of your money over time, making it harder to afford basic necessities. And then there are the wild cards, those unexpected events that can send shockwaves through the economy. The 2008 financial crisis, that was triggered by the collapse of the housing market. The COVID-19 pandemic, that shut down entire industries and threw global supply chains into chaos. Remember the 2008 financial crisis? It felt like the world was ending. Banks were collapsing, people were losing their homes, and the stock market was in freefall. That was a recession, a big one. Then, in 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic hit. Businesses shut down, millions lost their jobs, and the economy went into a tailspin. Another recession. This time it was different. This time it was personal. These two recessions, though triggered by different events, exposed the vulnerabilities of our economic system and the speed at which things can unravel. They serve as stark reminders that recessions are not just abstract economic concepts, They are real-life events with devastating consequences for everyday people. Behind the cold statistics and economic jargon, there are real people whose lives are turned upside down by recessions. Imagine being a recent graduate who can't find a job because companies have frozen hiring, or a single parent working 2 jobs, struggling to put food on the table because their hours have been cut. The stress of financial insecurity can take a toll on mental and physical health. It can lead to anxiety, depression, sleeplessness, and strained relationships. The human cost of a recession is measured in lost jobs, foreclosed homes, and shattered dreams. It's the feeling of helplessness, the fear of the unknown, and the struggle to make ends meet when the rug is pulled out from under you. So, the big question on everyone's mind, are we in a recession right now? The answer, as with most things in economics, is complicated. There are some warning signs. Inflation is stubbornly high, interest rates are rising, and consumer confidence is shaky. The stock market is on a roller coaster ride, and some experts are predicting a downturn. On the other hand, the job market remains strong, and consumer spending, while slowing down, hasn't fallen off a cliff. It's like trying to predict the weather. There are indicators and patterns, but sometimes Mother Nature throws a curveball. The truth is, no one knows for sure what the future holds. Whether or not we're officially in a recession, it's always a good idea to be prepared for economic uncertainty. Think of it like preparing for a storm. You might not get hit directly, but it's better to be ready just in case. Start by reviewing your finances. Where can you cut back on spending? Are there any unnecessary subscriptions or memberships you can cancel? Building up an emergency fund, even a small one, can provide a financial cushion if you lose your job or face unexpected expenses. Consider acquiring new skills or updating your resume. This can make you a more competitive job candidate if layoffs become more common. And finally, stay informed about economic developments. Knowledge is power, and understanding the forces at play can help you make informed decisions about your finances. While personal responsibility is crucial, navigating a recession isn't just about individual actions, it's about demanding systemic change to create a more resilient and equitable economy. We need stronger social safety nets to catch those who fall through the cracks. This means affordable healthcare, accessible childcare, and a robust unemployment insurance system. We need policies that promote fair wages, protect workers' rights, and prevent corporate greed from running rampant. We need to invest in education and job training programs to equip people with the skills they need to thrive in a changing economy. This isn't about handouts, it's about creating a system that works for everyone, not just those at the top. It's about ensuring that the next time an economic storm hits, we're all better equipped to weather it together. Recessions are tough, but they're not the end of the world. We've been here before, and we've come out stronger on the other side. Remember, we have the power to shape our economic future. By taking action, both individually and collectively, we can create an economy that is more resilient, more equitable, and more just for everyone.